Thành lập vào tháng 4 năm 2003, đến nay trải qua hơn 13 năm, một khoảng thời gian không dài cũng chẳng ngắn, nhưng là vừa đủ để Bệnh viện Quốc tế Pháp Việt dần định hình và biến một cái tên xa lạ trở thành một địa chỉ thăm khám sức khỏe thân thuộc, uy tín với nhiều người. Vị thuyền trưởng lèo lái con thuyền FV vượt qua những khó khăn và phát triển lớn mạnh như ngày hôm nay chính là bác sĩ Jean-Marcel Guillon. Đến Việt Nam lần đầu tiên vào năm 1997, tại thời điểm mà nhà nước quyết định khuyến khích đầu tư nước ngoài vào lĩnh vực y tế nhằm đáp ứng nhu cầu khám, điều trị chất lượng cao của người dân cũng như giảm bớt gánh nặng của các bệnh viện công. Với tình yêu dành cho Việt Nam và mong ước cháy bỏng là làm điều gì đó tốt đẹp cho đất nước này, bác sĩ Jean-Marcel Guillon đã đầu Nam. Mời quý vị cùng gặp gỡ bác sĩ Jean-Marcel Guillon để cùng lắng nghe những chia sẻ của ông về cuộc sống và công việc của mình.
Xin chào mừng quý vị và các bạn đến với chương trình Tôi và Việt Nam trên kênh truyền hình FBNC. Vị khách mời của chúng ta ngày hôm nay là bác sĩ Jean-Marcel Guillon, Tổng Giám đốc Bệnh viện Pháp Việt Thành phố Hồ Chí Minh. Cẩm Thu xin phép được bắt đầu cuộc trò chuyện với vị khách mời này nhé. Hi, Dr. Guillon. Welcome to my show.
Hi, too. Nice to be here.
It's very nice to have you here. How are you today?
I'm fine, thank you. Very happy.
Okay, it's cool. Could you please make us aware of your occupation and background?
Okay, I am the general director of the hospital that you call Viện, FV Hospital, and I'm a doctor as well. I'm coming from Paris in France, where I studied medicine. I'm an internal medicine specialist and also a chest physician.
I see. Now you must have been around 17 or 16 years old when Vietnam was unified in 1975. The country was known mainly for wars. What were your impressions of Vietnam and of events at the time through the eyes and ears of a teenager?
Well, when I was a teenager, to tell you the truth, I was not particularly preoccupied by Vietnam. It was very far away from me. Yeah, we could see sometimes on TV some news about the war, but for a teenager in France at that time, Vietnamese, we didn't even know we didn't even know that we knew Vietnamese, because you have many Vietnamese in France, and they look like French. I found out after that many of my friends were half Vietnamese or a quarter or completely Vietnamese, but I didn't pay attention to that. But now Vietnam itself was very far away. I didn't pay much attention to what was going on. I was too young.
I see. I understand that you first arrived here in 1997. What made you come to Vietnam at this particular time?
Well, I came specifically to start the feasibility study for the FV Hospital. This is why I came over. At that time, the Vietnamese government had decided to open the door for foreigners to invest into 100% foreign-owned hospitals in order to improve the healthcare facilities. And this is why we decided to come to Vietnam to check whether we could make a hospital here.
I see. What were your first impressions of Vietnam and its people?
Well, it was fascinating. The first impression was very positive. A lot of energy, a lot of noise, a lot of motorbikes. Not so many, not like now, but still, 20 years ago, it was quite impressive. Very smiling and nice people. Yeah, this was the first impression. A lot of energy.
Yeah?
I would say.
I'd love to hear that. Could you please share with us the most interesting lessons that you have learned by living and working in Vietnam?
In reality, I think it's not particularly in Vietnam. I think when you really want something, you can achieve it. You can obtain it. And I've seen people here working very hard, and starting from very low, and the country itself starting from very low after the war, and even in the early 90s, and changing tremendously. what is the most interesting part, I think, for me, is to have been witnessing a country that has changed tremendously. I mean, the country I first visited in 1997, and the country I lived in now, 20 years later or 19 years later, it's not exactly the same. Vietnamese are the same, but the country has changed so much, embellished and more modern. Yeah, very interesting.
As a doctor, would you consider the Vietnamese lifestyle as healthy?
Not all the time. I think a lot of people smoke too much here. A lot of people don't do enough exercise, and it's a bit polluted in some areas. But it's not unhealthy, like, you know, you don't see obese people like you would see in America or things like that. So on that side, the food is very good, and there are many good aspects. I didn't think about Vietnam as being healthy or unhealthy. Safe, for sure. It's one of the safest countries in the world. Healthy, I'm not sure. I wouldn't say unhealthy either.
I see. Thank you. Let's take a short break and we shall get back in a few minutes. Thưa quý vị, vừa rồi là phần 1 của chương trình Tôi và Việt Nam trên kênh truyền hình FBNC, phỏng vấn bác sĩ Jean-Marcel Guillon, Tổng Giám đốc Bệnh viện Pháp Việt Thành phố Hồ Chí Minh. Cẩm Thu xin phép được quay trở lại trong vòng ít phút nữa.